12 years of print on demand. That's a hell of a long time. I started right out of high school, and off the bat, I was able to make over $50,000 profit in my first few months, and a lot more after. But back then, it was a different time. 12 years later, I'm still doing print on demand, and not only have I learned so much, I've also been able to make 20 times that and help many others achieve their own print on demand goals and success as well. Being so deep in this space, I see and hear a lot of crap being thrown around. Some of it is valuable, a lot of it is fear-mongering or clickbait, and unfortunately, since print on demand has become this really popular, trendy topic, a lot of the advice out there is now coming from big YouTubers trying to jump onto this trend, even though they've never done this business model in their entire life. Now, imagine practicing your craft for over a decade, like really practicing it, and then a more popular, more well-known YouTuber comes on the scene, leverages their audience, sprouts a load of rubbish about how easy print on demand is, how passive print on demand is, and lies about their own success in the industry, all for the sake of fame and views and vanity metrics. It's sad, but it's also really wrong. Do they realize that they are leading people on, or are they just that clouded in their own ego that they don't realize what they're doing? Either way, I thought I would share with you 7 real things that I've learned in the last 12 years. And I've learned a lot more than these 7 things, but I thought these 7 things really ring true. And this advice comes after making over 10,000 designs, selling significantly more than that, and most importantly, studying this craft for more than a third of my life. So let's start with number 1. The platform that you sell on matters. I've sold on a lot of platforms, and if you told me, you sold on Etsy, my advice would be very different to if you told me that you sold on Shopify. The platform that you sell on heavily affects the strategy that you need to deploy. The designs that you make will be different. Your research will be different. Your expectations would also and should also be very different. If you told me, okay, I want to sell on Amazon merch on demand, that would be cool. And I would immediately make you aware of the potential with that platform. Now, I would also tell you all about the algorithm. I would tell you the potential profit margins, the risks, and when it came to research, what to design, trends that would play a huge part. And the biggest one is luck. Luck would play an even bigger part than anything else, and I would explain that in as much detail as possible. I would tell you that patience is key, and it's a very slow game. And if you're in a rush, you'll likely give up before you even get your first sale. I would tell you all of these things. But on the other hand, if you told me that your weapon of choice was going to be Shopify, boy, would my advice be very different. This is a much more intentional platform, one where careful planning and execution is vital. One where the niche really matters, where the designs really matter, and where the strategy really matters. So ask yourself, what platform do you want to sell on? And then make intentional decisions based on that answer. 2, please stop saying you're an artist, so you'll be fine. From reviewing thousands and thousands of designs and personally speaking to over 1,000 people in my communities about their designs, more often than not, I see those that say that they are already artists struggle the most, as they're usually stuck in their own creative ways and they just cannot adjust to the print-on-demand style. It's amazing that you have all of this artistic experience, and I fully get you. I came from an artistic background as well, but I almost had to unlearn some stuff and adapt my skill to suit print on demand specifically, because it's an entirely different beast. I remember growing up, I did all forms of art, from photography to spray painting to fine line art to oil painting to digital art, literally all of it. This print on demand, it's a very different game. So when you come into this business, please come in with an open mind, with a willingness to learn and change if need be. Whenever someone comes through our community and they have an artistic background, I make sure to mention this. Sometimes it goes on deaf ears, sometimes it's heard. Just remember, all I want for you is to make designs that get sales. I don't get any benefit seeing you struggle or seeing you spend money on traffic for a store riddled with unsellable designs. My main goal is to help you make designs so that you can run ads, your money goes a lot further, and sales come pouring in. That is what I want for you. 3. Learn a real design tool. And no, Canva does not count. Sorry. As cool of a tool Canva is, it's not a design tool for print on demand. It's more of a graphic designer's backup in the case of an apocalypse. Yes, you can make cool things with Canva, especially if it's text-only designs. But the way I see people talk about it and compare it to the likes of Photoshop, Illustrator, and Affinity, it blows my mind. It's great for basic text-only designs, like I said, and it can be used for print on demand. Don't get me wrong, I'm not disregarding it entirely, but it is not a tool where you would manipulate designs and create designs. It's a tool for very, very straightforward, basic text-only designs. And even if you don't plan to do any designing yourself, let's say you're going to hire someone or buy designs or solely rely on AI, I would still recommend you learn one solid design tool. Having that knowledge will help you massively, whether you need to do a quick tweak or whether it allows you to see if your designer that you've hired is taking advantage of you and charging you more than they need to. Having that knowledge is vital. What design tool should you learn? Well, there's a lot, but I honestly think the best value tool that has a very user-friendly UI and you can get the hang of it in as little as 10 hours is Affinity Designer. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and boy, is it powerful when you know how to use it. It's a fantastic tool. 4, there isn't one path to success. In fact, there can be endless routes to your final destination. Some will be faster, some bumpier, some prettier, and some more fun, but they all get you to the same place. Here, I'm going to tell you a story. Every winter I try to go skiing. I absolutely love skiing. I taught myself at 21 and I got instantly hooked. And when we go skiing every year, we fly to Geneva for our annual ski trip. And then we drive from Geneva to a resort, either in Italy, France, Switzerland, or maybe even Austria, right? And this year that just happened, we flew to Geneva like we always do, and we started our drive to the resort. That same resort we've been to 4 previous times. Every time Google Maps has taken me a different route. It's crazy that there's that many ways to get there. And this year it took us a way that was 30 minutes longer, but my goodness me, it was the most beautiful route we've ever done, through valleys and mountain passes and quaint little towns. And like I said, it took 30 minutes longer, but did I get to my destination? Yes, I just got there a little bit slower, but in a far more enjoyable way. Other routes may take you down the motorway and it will be fast, but it will be mind-numbingly boring. So I want you to just ask yourself, do you want to enjoy the business? Great, there's a route for that. Do you want speed above everything else? Well, then there's a route for that as well. Don't think because you're not following the route I took or the route another successful seller took that you're destined to fail. You've just gone a different path, and we'll see you when you get to the destination. But the biggest takeaway from this analogy is I want you to always follow a map. I would never dream of landing in Geneva Airport, renting a car and just driving until I got to my destination. Let's say it was Val Thorens, a famous ski resort. I would never get there. You need to follow directions, you need to follow a map, you need to follow something. Otherwise you'll be driving around aimlessly until, eventually you gave up. So whichever direction, whichever route you take, just make sure that you are following some sort of blueprint, some map or something to follow. 5, always take feedback on board. Remove your ego from the equation. No one is out to get you. No one is trying to offend you or just be mean. we always give constructive feedback where it's needed, specifically in our design community. All feedback is welcome and all feedback is extremely valuable. When you get feedback, don't reply to that feedback with, but this or but that. Just say thank you, take it on board, implement it if you want or don't. But always listen and take it on board and put your ego aside. No one is too good for feedback. I love hearing feedback in what I do. It's the only way to really improve and make a difference, whether that's with my designs or with my community or with this YouTube channel, whatever it is. I love hearing feedback because that is how you get better. 6, never stop learning. This is without a doubt the best advice in this video. You are never too good or too rich or too successful to be done with learning. If I've learned anything at all from any of the mentors that I've ever had, it's that constant learning will keep your mind sharp and it will keep you at the top of your game. So please, please, please never stop learning. And this doesn't just relate to print on demand. This relates to every aspect of your life. I've been doing this business 12 years and I will still take time every single day to learn and improve. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on training, on coaching, on communities, some form of education. And I'll be honest, it's not always good. It's sometimes hit and miss. Sometimes that training has been insanely valuable. Other times, well, not so much. The valuable ones, though, have always made up for the others. And I don't think I would be where I am today without my constant need to want to educate myself and to want to learn more. I actually find it quite ironic because if you met me in school, you would think the complete opposite. I was not good in school. I was not a school person. I did not get on well with teachers or the school as a whole. But ever since I've left school, I felt like I've needed to relearn everything, to reteach myself everything, and honestly never stop. And it's been the most valuable thing I've ever done. And I've actually really enjoyed the process of learning something new and mastering another skill or getting better at something else or just understanding something or clicking with something. It's a really, really good and a really valuable experience. 7, always celebrate the small wins. Whether it's your first sale or even just your first design uploaded, celebrate everything as they deserve to be celebrated, and you deserve to be proud of yourself for the accomplishments that you achieve, big or small. Now, in my community, we have a very, very strong emphasis on celebrating wins. Everyone, or almost everyone, shares wins when they have them. They get recognition for them. They motivate others by sharing their own wins, and they validate it in themselves that they are on the right track. So take a minute, think about what you've accomplished so far, and then I want you just to celebrate them. If you don't have anyone to share your wins with, feel free to join the community. Share them with us. We love supporting each other. We love bigging each other up, and we love celebrating your wins with you. And to continue with that train of thought, make sure to always learn from your mistakes. Remember, there is no such thing as failure, just lessons. So instead of thinking, oh, I failed 100 times, just think, nope, I now expertly know 100 ways not to do this. That mental attitude will really help when you're feeling down and under. You don't fail, you learn. You learn, you win. It's really as simple as that. Now, there's so much more. Honestly, so much more. At the end of the day, this is a real business. It should be treated like one. It's not dead, it's not oversaturated, it's not impossible to get into or anything like that. It just takes tremendous work like anything else in life. Anyone has the ability to get started. Anyone has the ability to succeed. Just keep working at it. I believe in you, so it's really time that you believe in yourself too.